Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and I want to talk with you about why I started trading stock options and really why you should too, or at least consider it, as there are a lot of benefits here, which I'll talk about. And this is all coming from, as you see here on the screen, a lot of people asking me about it. I've done, if you're not familiar with the channel, I have a playlist where I record myself and show just trading live. And in most of those situations, I've been just doing stocks and stocks and stocks. But very recently, I've transitioned over to doing a whole lot of options, which has prompted what you see here on the screen across the social media platforms. People just asking, hey, Clay, why are you now starting to trade, the stock options? So I want to just give you several reasons for that and then show you some of my results. So I'm not going to sit here and talk in theory the whole time. Well, I started because I think this is how it's supposed to work, or I started because I read that this should all happen. No, none of that. We're putting that stuff aside. We're going to look at real practical reasoning and real practical results for my personal trading. So if you're someone that enjoys more so the practical avenue of things as opposed to just talking in theory, well, then you'll enjoy this video. So let's get to the reasons about why I've started trading stock options and why I think you should consider it too. Reason number one, things change. Now, if you're not familiar, the previous month I did this video. I'll put a link down below, but to try to save you time, basically the previous month before I started doing stock options and I was just focused on stocks, it was a very rough month. It was very choppy. I did walk away still making money, but it was just, it felt like a grind. It just didn't feel normal. And that's just because, well, things change. And because things change, you need to be adaptable as a trader. So that's one reason why I would say, if you feel kind of, it's just what's going on with my strategy, what's going on with, it doesn't necessarily what's going on with stocks. It could be what's going on with stocks or crypto or Forex or futures. There's something not quite right. Hey, consider other asset classes, and options are a great one for them. But for me, things changed. My strategy, it's not like it wasn't working. It just didn't seem to be working as efficiently as what I was used to. So I thought, you know what, I got to make a change too. Now, I've always been aware, I've done options in the past, but it had been a while. And the reason number two is a very respected person that's part of my community. I talked with on a Tuesday night live webinar, just as a quick, kind of just context background here, as part of the trading program that I offer. On Tuesdays, there's always a live webinar. And on some, live webinars, I'll bring on other traders from the community. We talk trading, we talk about specific things. It's super, super beneficial. But yeah, it's all under the philosophy of, hey, iron sharpens iron. You surround yourself with the right people and you're going to improve. And that's what happened here. Is I was talking with Jeremy, is his name. He goes by Remy in the community, but talking with Jeremy, and he was walking me through some of his options trading. And it was just kind of like wow, Clay, and goes back to reason one. I felt like things are changing. You got to be adaptable. And man, Jeremy is the one solid piece of iron. I respect him to the utmost. And he's doing great the way he's explaining. I gotta revisit this options things. So that was reason number two. Just simply iron sharpens iron. You surround yourself with the right people, and it's gonna make you better. It's gonna keep your mind flexible. It's gonna keep your mind open to other things that maybe are hiding in plain sight. So that was reason number two. So thanks, Jeremy. And reason number three, thank you to all of you that provide feedback, whether that be on YouTube videos or on any of the other social media platforms. If you're maybe new to the channel, I do my best to reply to all comments that I get on YouTube, and that'll be the same for this video. So if you leave a comment below, I will reply. But through that, there's been feedbacks over an extended period of time. Options. Hey, Clay, consider options because of this. Hey, Clay, consider options because of this. Hey, Clay, remember, I know you used to do options, but why not bring them back because of this? And they were all valid reasons. They were all good reasons. But just one of those situations where, when you find a groove, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But going back to reason number one, because things do change, yeah, it wasn't broken, but it just wasn't efficient as possible. So with reason number two in Jeremy, and reason number three, because of many of you who have left good, constructive feedback, that is. There's always going to be trolls, right? Keyboard warriorism, it's a very real thing these days. But a lot of people in very constructive ways, very polite, very, like I said, I don't mind if people criticize, but when you do it in a constructive way, well, that's where I'll be receptive. But, it just kept coming up. Hey, Clay, options, and there was a bunch of good reasons for that. So that's another reason is I'll give credit where credit's due. All of you, not all of you, but many people that are subscribers and such, kept on dropping those, and they just really started to add up. And I thought, between reason number two, Jeremy, and then I've been thinking about a lot of the feedback that I've gotten over the months and years. Why not get back into options? Now, reason number four was not for me, and I don't say that in an arrogant way, but just because I'm a little older in my years, so I have a little bit more money. But For you, maybe this would be a very, very good reason, is that it's a great way to grow. If you have a small account, lots of money is not required, yet you can still make good, solid amounts of money with not having to use a bunch of money. Now, are you going to be, hey, I'm going to start options and the next week I'm going to be driving my yacht? I'm not saying that, but it is a very solid way to go about trying to grow a small account. So that would be a reason that maybe for you watching this might want to consider. And quite frankly, if you are working with a smaller amount, then I think options are a great thing that I'm not going to promise you is the holy grail because that doesn't exist. But is it at least something that should be pursued? Should something that at least be considered by you? Absolutely. So now let's go and let's kind of get out of the world of theory. Although it's not really theory because the whole point is, what did I do? So I've been given the reasonings here. But let's actually look at my results here from that first month of doing it. And then this will also show you about how the smaller account can really, really be impactful. So here we are looking at my results for the month. And you can see down here, right there, and this is the number after commissions and fees. So made 44, but after commissions and fees, 41.32. Funny thing is, the last day of the month. Now, this was all within the risk tolerance plan, so it's not like that caught me off guard or anything like that. I was willing to risk $1,000 that day, and I ended up only losing $785. So it was, like I said, it was well within the risk parameters. But the ironic thing here is that I went back to a stock, and that's what ultimately bit me right there. So maybe there's a little cruel irony there of Clay. Options were treating you well, you're doing well, and then you went and you tried trading a stock, Clay, and you got bit. So like I said, maybe there's a little, now I'm saying that sarcastically, and I've talked about the trade in a previous video that I did, but point being, it was a good setup. It was logical. It was not, it all made sense. It just didn't work out. And that's what happens sometimes. But there is kind of a little bit of, comedic irony in there that the loss there at the last day happened to be from a stock itself. But regardless, those are my results. But here's the craziest thing, and here's what goes back to reason 4 about the small account, is that, you can look over here and see, okay, well, Clay, I don't have $50,000 in my account, but every trade that I made, not a single one of the trades from the options perspective required more than $10,000. Now, is $10,000 like a super small account? I'm not saying that either, but it's definitely not $50,000. It's definitely not $100,000, especially when you start to factor in you can use margin and leverage. Of course, you got to use that stuff very respectfully, very carefully. Hence is why I'm a big believer in learning, education, training yourself. But hey, you don't need a lot to make good, solid money. So in all actuality, when I consider that the vast majority of these gains right there came from basically $10,000, that's a 40% return in 1 month. And I'm very happy with a 40% return on my money. And I also only trade for around 30 minutes every day. If you've watched my live trade videos, you've heard me talk about the be done in 30 approach, but that is just me being done after 30 minutes. And that I probably should have added this as another, this is more so a reason going forward of why I'm going to continue to trade options. But with options, it's been crazy. There has been a bunch of trades, a bunch of days where I was done after, you can go back to the live trade videos and see some of these 2 minutes, 5 minutes. There was a couple of 10-minute days, meaning with options, they're boom, boom, and you can be done very, very quickly. So in all actuality, this whole be done in 30, maybe I'm not willing to commit to it yet. Might go down to be done in 15. We'll see. But that is definitely a reason why I'm going to continue to trade options moving forward, is they're making time efficiency that much more impactful for me, which at this point in my personal life, I'm all about it for the freedom of time. So you can say like $4,000, that's nothing. And that's fine if you want to. I realize a lot of people make bigger money than that. But when this is produced from only 30 minutes a day, which it was less, but we'll just call it 30 minutes a day and do the math. It comes out to basically I'm making over $400 per hour. So for me as a side hustle, that's good money when I'm doing this for the freedom of time so I can spend it with my family. But yeah, if you want to get into this because you want a yacht and a private jet, that's cool. I hope you get it. But for me, as a father of 4 young kids, 1 more on the way. Actually, we'll see what happens by the time this goes live. I might actually have 5 kids. So this might be a lie when this goes live if I'm saying that I have 4 kids, because I could have 5 at this point. But my point here is that I'm not doing this to have some sort of I just I'll take it as a side hustle. I'll take $400 per hour. But like I said, if I can get that down to 15 minutes a day and being done with my trading after 15 minutes, that would be even better. But like I said, going back to these results, like I said, not a single one of the option trades required more than $10,000. Let me take that back. There might have been a couple, so I should probably preface that because I don't remember every single trade. But the vast majority vast majority required less than $10,000. But the point here is being that it's not like I'm saying that $10,000 is even the minimum. I mean, $5,000 more than realistic, especially again, if you start to use leverage, you can get more and more buying power for it. But with options, I mean, the way they function, and I can't go into those rabbit holes, but they allow you to get good, worthwhile amounts with much less money. And if I can interest you, I do offer options classes as part of the trading program that I offer. But if you don't want to, do that, that's fine too. But I would, like I said, if anything, if I can just encourage you to look more into options, they're definitely a great way to go about it. So that is why I changed. And, everything is subject to change. So who knows? Maybe I'll be back to stocks. But as of right now, loving options. But that is why I started trading options. And these are reasonings where, like I said, I think you should also consider changing over, or at least maybe adding them into your trader tool belt as a way to make money from the markets. So hopefully you found this. Hopefully I answered those questions to those of you that are asking. But now I'm happy that from an efficiency standpoint, I can now just link people to this video. So the next time somebody says, hey, Clay, what's up with the options? Why are you trading options? Link right to this video, and that'll make my life a lot easier so I don't have to sit there and type anything out. But those are my reasonings. If you did enjoy the video, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. I don't know, or leave me, do you trade options? And if so, leave a comment below. What do you like about options? What are your reasonings for trading them? And I'm sure I'm missing some things, but I'd love to hear about why you do them, and that would be an encouragement to me too, to keep me motivated and keep me going with the options. Because like I said, you as listeners, you as people that lead feedback and comments, you're one of the reasons why I actually just made the change over for now. So like I said, yeah, leave those down below in terms of why you like them, and that'll I'm sure help other people out too. Then also check out the channel as a whole. Good variety of videos out there, including those live trade videos. So if you want to see these results in action, you can go back in the playlist and watch some of those, and you'll see exactly how they played out. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Check out the channel as a whole, and hopefully you'll decide to subscribe. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.